You boys ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to Juice Pro Wrestling, episode 70, The Sixth Sense. In the studio today, with the juice, as always, is Sreten the Savage. What's up? What up, baby girl?
Hi.
Oh, how you doing?
What's going on, man?
What's up? And our very special guest, a returning Steve Tortorello. Let's hear it, Steve.
All right. Love that guy.
Yeah. Steve, of course, being the head honcho, the master maestro of Warrior Wrestling. Check it out. You can buy the t-shirt at
Juice is repping the t-shirt here in the studio. I like it.
That's right.
Order now.
Yeah. Where can people order it at?
WarriorWrestling.net under merch.
Nice. I like that.
Or come to the show and buy it there.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Sorry, I was kind of angry. Please come to the show and buy it there.
Thank you
It's for a great cause.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is for a great cause. You guys, man, it's been a while. So how you been, Steve?
Good, man. You just announced episode 70, and I think my first one was like episode 31. It's like, damn,
Yeah.
I've grown up with Juice.
Yeah, you have. The first, I think Warrior 3 is when we came on board and we're like, hey, man, what the hell's going on? What are you doing here?
Who are you guys?
Yeah.
I just woke up in the studio in Hobart. Like, okay.
Yeah, that's
Let's
right.
record this podcast.
And
Come into this dark room.
with Killer Cross in the corner.
Oh, God, don't even. He's scary, man.
He is a creepy guy, but we love him for it.
Ugh.
Yeah, man, episode 70. And for you guys, this is Warrior 6 now.
Yes.
It's been what, like 3 months?
Yeah, May 11, I want to say, was Warrior 5. So we took the summer off. School was off. I was in China and South Bend and all over the world. And
Nice.
now we're back all out weekend and here to tear the house down once again.
Yeah, and it's going to be insane because you got All Out, which, you know, the whole wrestling world is looking forward to. It's going to be insane. And then just to be the icing on the cake, the next day is Warrior.
Yeah.
I mean, Sreten, we're talking, it's going to be a hellacious
That
wrestling weekend for us. We're going to be doing the Black Label GCW show.
Nice.
We're also going to be doing a live podcast from Max Wood Grilled in Chicago.
Ooh.
And then, of course, All Out, and then we got Warrior. So it's...
We're a vendor again at Starrcast this year, so we'll be working Starrcast for 3 days, heading straight into the Warrior show. And, you know, I basically won't sleep for 76 hours.
Yeah.
And then Monday on Labor Day, I will be in bed, wake up, grill and eat a bratwurst, go back to bed.
Right? I forgot it was Labor Day, too. I'm like trying to I'm going to take a vacation day because I'm doing it that Friday.
Yeah.
And like, dude, it works like, man, that's Labor Day. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll take that Tuesday off then, too. I might need it. But
it is wrestling Christmas. It really is.
It is. It's like WrestleMania weekend for Chicagoland.
Yes.
You know?
I'm I'm the rookie with all this stuff. I always beat the dead horse at some point.
He's the rookie of the year.
At some point, I'll stop saying it because I won't be anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm so excited about that weekend that I might fly family in from out of town and friends from out of town just to come to Warrior, just to come to Friday's show. And then, you know, just to have
and then they can chill in the parking lot for
they can just wait in the parking lot.
Do it.
It's going to be so awesome. Like the whole weekend's going to be great.
And you experienced this because I think the first time I was on was before you'd been been to a live wrestling show.
No.
Yeah. And for the family and friends and whoever else, there's nothing like live wrestling. And so, you know, for them to, if you bring people in and they experience all these shows, there's nothing like it. It's so much fun.
Yeah, like we've talked about it on the recap after 3, like just the look on his face and how
everybody
excited.
knows. Like
he was getting involved.
I'm a fanboy right now for 2 promotions.
Yeah,
and it's AEW and Warrior Wrestling.
Yeah,
like seriously, like I am a fanboy, and we were talking about doing the little skits like paint my face with the W and do all these stupid shit. Which we might do in the future.
This is true.
But yeah, it's dude. And like I'll limit my ass kissing, but the way you produce a show and the talent you bring in and just the whole atmosphere, everything from start to finish is
it's a party.
Just amazing.
It's good times.
It makes me borderline. Like I've gone to another show, like an independent show. I've yet to go to, unfortunately, sorry, Mikey, to a Black Label Pro show, but those everybody seems to say, like everybody says those are awesome. There's a bunch of cool promotions in Chicago, but I almost hesitate to go to other ones because I like it that much.
Thank
Right.
you.
So
and I've been a fan for.
and now my criticisms.
Oh
I'm joking.
no!
I'm joking.
Buttered me up just to knock me down a peg. No, I've been a fan for forever, and literally, as we put this together, the goal was of all the things that myself and Eric and Mike Cassidy and the other guy and Kyle Breskowitz have seen and learned. What is the best of everything we could try to combine to do the best damn job we can? And so we've gotten very lucky that great people have said yes to doing the show, and for the most part, it's gone really well. So thank you. That means a lot.
Yeah. Man, and fuck. I keep wanting to say episode 70,
Spit
but
it out.
yeah, spit it out. For the 6th venture into this now, man.
Yes.
And you guys have been at it for what? Is this 2 years now officially?
No, about a year and a half.
Year
May
and a
of
half?
18.
Okay.
Yeah.
And once again, every time we talk about these shows, it's like, man, this is huge, and they all are huge, but it's like it just keeps like one after the other, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you got a huge lineup with a lot of guys, and this one in particular. If you don't mind, if we can start getting
Let's
in, like,
do it. Let's jump in.
who's appearing.
Absolutely. I'll pull it up.
To me, this one is like a Lucha Libre fest, man.
Yes.
And I really dig that. I've been to a few MLW shows. I really dig that atmosphere out there. Lucha Libre to me is like the most exciting wrestling you can watch at the moment.
Yeah.
So give us a rundown of some of the guys you got. I mean, because you got some legends coming too, like you always do.
No, it's a big, and so we actually won't pull the trigger on a date until we know we've got at least a core group of major guys or girls lined up.
Yeah.
So we're not going to put a date on and scramble. We're going to talk to a lot of people, and once we've got a pretty core group, we're going to pull the trigger and do it. And for this one, you know, kind of going back to what Sreten and I were talking about a minute ago, Lucha appeals to the live experience and to people who haven't seen wrestling before. So, like, if you go in to see wrestling and you watch a very slow, methodical, like Randy Orton match, like your cousin or your sister, whoever's like, yeah, this is boring. Yeah. But you go watch luchadors, you go, oh my God, this is incredible.
Yeah.
How did that guy do that? And it just gets you out of your seat. So we wanted to double down on that and double down on what we think makes us unique, because there's not a ton of lucha action in the Chicago area. You mentioned MLW earlier. When they come through maybe 2 or 3 times a year. They bring some big time luchadors, but there's not a ton of major luchadors in the area. So on the luchador front, we've got Caristico, who used to be Sin Cara in WWE and who's just absolutely amazing. We've got Ultimo Guerrero, who is the current CMLL world champion, who's just a huge, huge star in Mexico. And we've got Atlantis, who beat Ultimo Guerrero in a mask versus mask match a couple of years ago and made Ultimo Guerrero unmasked. So you've got these 3 major Mexican legends going at it in a triple threat match, which is incredible. And I don't think this match has ever happened before. We've also got the Lucha Brothers are back, Pentagon and Phoenix, versus Tessa Blanchard and Daga.
That's awesome.
This
It's gonna be
we are
awesome.
so excited about this, and we try as best as we can to talk to the talent. So I was mentioning to Juice earlier before we went on the air that, you know, Brian Cage and I trade a lot of texts and ideas and things. Tessa and I were trading texts and ideas, and I mentioned we were thinking about this match, and she responded in all caps, "Hell yes," with like 5 S's. Do it. You're the man.
Nice.
And I texted Eric a screenshot of that. I was like, well, we can't let Tessa down now.
right.
So this is what we're going to do. And she's just been facing guys the last couple months in Impact.
Did you watch the Unbreakable this past Friday?
I missed it. Was it good?
It was good, man. If you thought the first matchup between her and Sami Callihan was awesome, I mean, dude, the second one was just as good, if not better. And she's solidifying herself as like just the best wrestler.
Yes.
You know, and there's a lot of people when you think of best wrestler in the world, like, and there's so many people like Kenny Omega comes in a lot of people's mind. You know, people still saying AJ Styles and stuff, but and Tessa's like what, 20?
Just turned 24.
Oh my, yeah. It's insane.
She can still tell people her age with using her like 2 hands like a little kid.
Yes, like a little kid. She's this many.
Dude.
She says 2'4" and then drop kicks you.
Yes.
It's unbelievable to think of how high and how far she's going to go in pro wrestling.
Yes.
Because she's fucking absolutely killing it. Anybody would kill to have her.
Yes.
In her promotion, and that
she
including
may be
AEW.
the, as you said, pound for pound, the best wrestler in the world.
Yeah.
And we put that out in a tweet, and that wasn't just hype or promotion. Like
I believe that shit. Yeah.
Yes. As far as athleticism, moves, and the ability to she's so intense.
Yes.
So if you watch her in the ring and her opponent kicks out, the way that she reacts to that
is
better than anybody else. The way that she reacts to everything is so spot on. She just lives it.
Oh, yeah. She had a great teacher, though, you know. Tully Blanchard was no slouch back in the day, you know. I see a lot of him and his attitude, like, in her. And it's just like a more modernized version and amped up. I'm glad to see Tully with Sean Spears in AEW. That's super cool, too, man.
We're not signing this. Sorry. I'm pitching catchphrases for him.
Oh.
You're not saying this.
Yeah, I'm not saying it at all. But man, like I said, Tessa it's going to be really fun to see where this girl goes in the next couple years, because she's going to end up being like one of the best ever.
I don't know when her deal is up with Impact, but when she becomes a free agent again, Impact, AEW, WWE, I mean,
anybody with deep pockets,
Ring
man.
of Honor, like every promotion is going to make her their best offer.
Yeah.
And she will have her pick of the litter. And good for her, because she deserves it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll cheers to that. Hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Stone Cold E.T.
Yeah, you better be there this time, man.
I'll probably show up.
Yeah.
If you're listening, you're invited again, Stone Cold E.T., man of mystery.
Yeah, bring that guitar, strap on your guitar, and we'll rock out.
Yeah.
Another guy I'm excited to see that you guys got was Michael Elgin.
Yes. We just announced tonight Big Mike challenging for the Warrior Wrestling title against Brian Cage.
Nice.
Big Mike he's a guy I've been watching since 2010 in Ring of Honor.
When he had the mullet,
When he had that glorious mullet.
Yeah. Yep.
The mullet he probably should have cut earlier, but he just held on to.
It was a desperate cry. Please leave me.
Yeah. I still have hair, damn it. But he has always been incredible.
Yeah.
And he went to New Japan for a couple of years and got even better in New Japan. And he and Cage tore the house down in July at Slammiversary.
Yep.
Incredible match, and it ended with like a quick roll up. And that's the only thing I was disappointed about in that match, is that I wanted to see these two guys beat the snot out of each other until we had a winner.
Right.
And that's what we're getting on September 1st.
Nice.
If it ends in some quick finish, I'm walking down and telling the ref that it's still going. We're getting a winner on September 1.
Yeah. You get back in that ring. Yeah. Tell Jeremy if he's reffing that match.
Yeah.
Jeremy, you ring that bell.
You don't ring that bell on roll-ups, Jeremy. One big bull needs to put the other one down.
That's right. Both those guys are super athletic, man. For big guys,
they're insane.
It's gonna be
insane.
Nuts. So what's some more stuff we got going on here, Steve?
Another Lucha Libre Spectacle, Templario and Soberano Jr., who aren't as well known. They have only done a handful of dates in the States. They're fantastic. I mean, Sam Adonis has compared them to a young Rey Mysterio and a young Juventud Guerrero.
Nice.
I mean, they are really good, and they're hungry. The other luchador on the card is Dragon Lee, who's from CMLL. He was just the New Japan junior heavyweight champion.
Yep.
The guy is made of like magnets that bounce off the earth. I mean, he can fly, he can move in a way that like he's missing vertebrae or something that I have that doesn't allow me to do that. And there's many other things that don't allow me to do what he does. But he's also built in a way that the rest of us humans aren't. And he's going against another guy who is preternaturally talented, and that's Andrew Everett. I have never seen somebody with the flips and the jumps of Everett. And Everett's not a big dude. He's like 5'5", 5'6". But the guy can, I wouldn't be surprised if he could dunk a basketball.
Right.
The guy can fly.
The Skywalker, man.
Yes. And he hits, and for those of you who haven't seen him ever do this, he hits a double moonsault as one of his crazy nuclear finishers. A double twisting moonsault. He hits the highest, snappiest shooting star press I've ever seen in wrestling.
For sure.
And so you've got these two guys who like don't subscribe to physics and gravity. And we put them together for the first time anywhere ever. So that is just going to be insane.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, I don't care what's going on backstage. I'm coming out the side curtain and I'm watching this happen. A, to make sure no one dies, but B, to just enjoy it.
Hell yeah. You got to enjoy it, man.
Oh, my God. So we're super pumped about that. The other one we're super pumped about, speaking of guys who defy physics and gravity, there's this indie wrestler who's been blowing up. He really got hot coming out of GCW's 4th of July show, a guy named Alex Zane.
Yeah.
He wrestled for years, and then he stopped traveling and wrestling and did a bunch of backyard wrestling only for several years, and then he came back like a year ago. And the dude is unbelievable. He's like Will Ospreay. I mean, his motion, his ability to fly, his crispness, just like Everett and Dragon Lee. And he's going up against a guy that Will Ospreay tore the house down with, Lance Archer.
Yeah.
And if anybody
big
listening
boy, too.
watches G1, he's 6'8".
Yeah.
The dude is, a monster. And he can fly, and he can move, and he can manhandle people. And
He was what was he? He was a tag team with Davey Boy Smith Jr. Killer Elite Squad.
The Killer Elite Squad for years in New Japan.
And then I remember watching him years and years ago in Impact TNA.
Lance Hoyt.
Yeah, Lance Hoyt.
Yep.
Hoyt.
And this year, Davey Boy left New Japan, and you thought, oh, that might be it for Lance Archer. Nope. They repackaged him. He came out with a new look, new moveset, new everything, and he's just murdering the G1.
Yeah, he is.
And so, for anybody that's listening that follows New Japan, so he was going up against Kota Ibushi, and Kota Ibushi hit him with the Kamigoye, which was where Ibushi holds your hands, pulls his knee back, and then just knees you in the skull as hard as he possibly can.
Right.
Kills everyone. No one ever kicks out of it. He hits Archer with it. Archer slumps over a little bit, starts laughing, sits up and screams at him. So the place goes nuts.
Yeah.
Kazuchika Okada hits Archer with the Rainmaker. Archer doesn't even move. Just Rainmaker, he doesn't even flinch. This guy is a monster, an absolute monster. He did a moonsault off the middle ropes. He's doing dives.
Nice.
And we're bringing him to Warrior Wrestling.
And Starrcast, right?
Yeah, and he's our guest at Starrcast.
Yeah. And Zane is too, right?
So is Zane.
Yeah.
We're going to see what happens when we put those two together at Starrcast. I need to talk to Conrad Thompson and see what kind of insurance we have on the various tables. And
you might have to keep them separated.
Ooh, nice Offspring reference.
There you go.
So that match is going to be incredible. I mean, it's just been we've been very lucky with the guys that have said yes, and we've been very happy with what's come together thus far. And we're not done yet. We still got a couple more matches coming.
That's right. Yeah. Wardlow's coming back too, right?
Wardlow will be there. Nothing announced yet. Sam Adonis will be there. Nothing announced yet.
Brian Pillman
Jr. Nothing announced yet. Austin Aries. Nothing announced yet.
But let's get to who is announced. And this is a huge announcement. This is something that, the first time I became aware of Frank the Clown, and we all know the people that are in the wrestling biz or know what's up, know about him and, Noel Foley and all that. So I was picturing this match a long time ago, like probably at Warrior 3. So I'm just going to go ahead and let you announce it.
Yes. Frank the Clown issued a hardcore open challenge that was answered by the hardcore legend Mick Foley.
Bang, bang!
Bang, bang!
Bye, bye!
Have a nice day!
Mrs. Foley's baby boy here. Oh, man, that's fucking insane, dude.
Yes.
To believe, Mick Foley's coming around, and holy crap, against Frank the Clown. This has a great story to it. Like I said, we all know what's up with Frank and Noel. And I'm just excited to see how it all plays out. And
just tonight, we released to the public Mick's short but sweet message to Frank. And Frank texted me a response earlier that is intense, that Frank is going to put out tomorrow.
Really?
So, this is not going to be a cute little thing. Frank is here to, in Frank's mind, prove that he is legitimately more hardcore than Mick Foley.
Now, so this ain't the one with where Val Capone was interviewing him, right?
No, we've already seen that one. There's another one that Frank has put together with Nick Hausman. That
cool. What up, Nick?
Yeah, hey Nick, our buddy. It's gonna be. I have no idea what's gonna. All we know, we've booked it. God knows what's going to happen with it.
Right.
We got Mick Foley to agree. And now it's not a match. We cannot call it a match. There's no referee. There's no pinfall.
Yeah.
But it will be Frank the Clown and Mick Foley face to face, hardcore in the center of the ring. I am afraid, as the promoter, I'm excited, but I'm also like, dear God, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
What is Mick going to do to Frank? What does Frank think he's going to do to Mick?
Yeah. That's the real question.
I just don't even know.
What if he just...
But you know what? If smart money says that Frank's got an ace up his sleeve, I think we all know who that ace
I wouldn't be surprised if the ego is in Frank's corner. So
I would not be surprised, to say the least.
Yeah.
If he tried some treachery on the hardcore legend. Bye-bye! Yeah, super.
Jim Ross!
Yeah. Barbecue! I had to get it out there. It's been an
I think you
episode
missed
or
like 2 weeks.
Mr.
2 weeks,
Sacco!
no Jim Ross.
Remember that promo he cut with Jim Ross back in the day?
That's what I was thinking, the sit-down one.
Yeah.
Where JR's interviewing him, and he's just talking about growing up and losing his ear, and it's just like, and he ends by choking out JR with the mandible claw.
Yeah, he's like, wee, wee.
It was intense.
Yeah. Mankind was creepy as hell back in the day, man. Like
He was originally, we were talking about Killer Cross earlier,
Mhm.
which we got to get to in a second. Mankind was originally the scary character.
Yeah.
Oh, like this is the guy you didn't want popping out of the dark.
Yeah, and it wasn't, I mean, I would think he was a little bit more scary than The Undertaker.
Yes.
The Undertaker was just like a big, intimidating dude, but you knew it's like, okay, well, he's not the dead man, you know? But Mankind's like, okay, this guy could really be nuts. I mean, he's ripping his hair
out of his head, yes.
He's missing his ear. He's missing some teeth. He had his teeth go through his nose, and he's just smiling about it, you know? Like,
he used to come out and sit in the ring and just rock back and forth for the match to start while he was pulling on his hair. He was terrifying.
Yeah. And you already knew he was terrifying if you watched him as Cactus Jack because he was insane.
Yes.
Truth or Consequences, New Mexico.
Barbed wire rope matches in Japan. Blood everywhere in ECW.
Yeah.
The picture of him with just covered in his own blood. I mean,
Have a nice day.
I mean, it was insane.
Yeah. I loved it. And you guys are going to have him.
And he's going to be, if 33-year-old Steve could get back just for 30 seconds as a hologram and talk to 15-year-old Steve and be like,
dressed as Princess Leia.
Yeah, dressed as Princess Leia. Like, help us, 15-year-old Steve. You're our only hope. But and I could tell myself, you're going to run a wrestling promotion at your high school, and Mick Foley is going to come, and it's going to be amazing. Like, I don't know what 15-year-old me would do differently for the ensuing 18 years, but damn, he'd be happy that day, I told him.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'll cheers you to that.
Mm-hmm.
And you could shake hands with him before the...
Yes.
Yeah. He's doing the meet and greet.
He's doing the meet and greet. So that's the other thing,
I always forget
too.
what you call it. I apologize for that.
The VIP Fan Fest.
Yeah.
It's a meet and greet. And we have, so it's more expensive than it's ever been, but that's because we have Mick Foley, we have Caristico, we have Ultimo Guerrero, we have Atlantis. You know, we're flying in a whole bunch of people from Mexico. We're basically just getting a bus in Mexico City and sending it up.
Yeah. They're break the walls down! Break down the walls!
Everyone hide. So the price is more expensive, but it's still literally the best deal in wrestling.
Yeah,
like there
it
are
really is.
28 wrestlers you get to meet for $100. Mick Foley is at Starrcast same weekend. To meet Mick Foley and get his autograph, $80.
You know what? JR brought this to my attention too. I think MJF's going to be there, right? The Starrcast.
Oh, it's Starrcast, yeah, but not on our show. Yeah,
right. And the price to meet MJF at Starrcast was, I think he was trumping Foley.
Was he really?
Yeah.
It's not just that at these events when there's like, the VIP meet and greet is it's in a high school gym.
Yeah.
But it is very intimate.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're not just going to take a picture. You're probably going to get to talk to every person in there for like a minute or two.
Yes.
Which you just won't get that anywhere else.
If you're at Starrcast, they move you along.
Yeah. Go. I remember we went to C2E2. Like we all went there.
Oh, yeah.
Like the line for everyone was just, I mean, you're going to lose your whole day.
Yes.
See,
like getting an autograph.
That
and it really is like you just take a quick picture.
Yeah, and I don't like that. I like, me personally, I like if I don't get to meet some of my heroes or whatever, then hey, it is what it is. That's fine because I like that intimate setting.
Yep.
When you've allowed us to come and do our shtick there, and,
with.
Yes.
Like at Warrior, like
and it's so cool, and there's nothing that can replace those memories and those opportunities. Like it's why I don't like C2E2 to do that. I like going looking around and doing stuff, but hey, I'm not gonna give $300 to shake someone's hand for 1 second, take a picture, like hey. Yeah. I can't do it, man.
Yeah, but at the Warrior Fan Fest, if you just want to hang out with Tessa for 10 minutes, great. As long as it's not creepy and she doesn't
as long as you're not staring at her for 10 minutes,
but
like really close. Yeah,
you can talk to
50 feet away.
Yeah, at least there's like a line.
Yeah.
But you can talk to and honestly get to know people a little bit and shoot the breeze with them, ask them questions, and that's the beauty of this thing. And we tried it on a whim for the first Warrior Wrestling, and everybody loved it, so we just kept doing it.
It's well worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we alluded to this a few minutes ago. The last match that's public thus far is Filthy Tom Lawler, UFC star,
Filthy Tom,
MLW champ, former BLP champ, against Killer Cross.
Oh man, this is going to be a crazy match. Both, I mean, obviously we know Filthy Tom Lawler's background in MMA, but people that may or may not know, Killer Cross also has an MMA background.
He's a jiu-jitsu guy. I don't know. He's a mystery. He posts these weird videos online of him like doing jujitsu training. And,
it's like it reminds me of
stuff.
like 80s montages
Yes.
almost. Like I remember I was telling you I was talking to him on Instagram and I was telling him, man, I'm trying to get Bolo Young on the show to interview because he's just one of my like heroes as an 80s villain. He was just, I mean, he was trained by Bruce Lee. He was like the big Asian dude, Enter the Dragon, like awesome guy. And he was like pumped about that. He's like, man, that's so awesome. You know, like, but he gives me that vibe of like watching like one of those characters from like an 80s kung fu movie that's just so into it and like the training and like the discipline, but there's this dark side to it.
Yes.
And it's not, you know, there's nothing like satanic or whatever. It's such a mystery as to how dark it is.
Yeah.
I think it's a better character more so than like an Aleister Black.
Yes.
You know, Aleister Black kind of borderlines on that, but he's kind of been lost in the mix. I love what Cross does with his character and everything, dude. It's amazing.
That is an excellent comparison. I've never thought of those two side by side before, but you're right. Killer Cross is the PG-13 or R version of Aleister Black.
Yeah. To me, he's like he's the more real version.
Yes.
I get that more. Other than if I'm looking at Aleister Black, it's like, all right, you're cool. You got a cool moveset. Nothing against him, but it's like, it's kind of maybe he's a product of where he's at.
Yes.
In the booking. But Cross, man, and Cross hasn't, unfortunately with Impact, hell, they're doing some more tapings in Vegas. And I'm like, where the hell's Cross at on the flyer, you know? But anyways, he's been given some really good opportunities with them. That video that he did, if you guys check it out on, I think, is it Killer Cross or Kevin Cross's YouTube?
Yeah.
The
most recent one is just scary.
Yeah, it's freaky, man. And you look at the guy's tattoos and everything, and it's like he's the complete package when it comes to, I think he's like the next big thing as far as just a mysterious guy.
Yes.
Dark wrestler character. Like you don't know where he's coming from, and that's scary. Because you could sit there and be like, oh well, is he this? No, is he that? No, he's not really that. It's like, wow, we don't know who this guy is. We just know he's fucking intense, you know?
And that is the brilliance of maintaining mystique. So many wrestlers, this is, pulling the curtain back, but so many wrestlers, want to be themselves on Twitter, but then a character on the screen.
Yeah.
And, the argument is that like, oh, well, like so are actors, but wrestling is different.
Yeah.
Wrestling, you have to live the thing. Kayfabe. To some extent for it to be believed when you walk on the screen. Like if I know you're the nicest guy in the world and then you walk on the curtain and you're evil, I don't believe that you're evil. But if I don't know anything about you and I see you walk through the curtain and you're evil, I don't know what you're like. There's a real I am legitimately, and I'm booking him.
Yeah.
I'm kind of scared of Killer Cross.
Yeah.
Like okay, and that's cool. I want to be kind of scared of this mysterious thing that's coming to our show.
He's an entity.
Yes,
for sure, and I love it. He really gets me, and I know JR is a huge fan of him too. I've loved everything he's done. I loved how Impact brought him in, and he's done like the thing he did in like the church with Eddie Edwards. And just. But his verbiage, too. He's so sophisticated, even though he's, like, supposed to be this creepy whatever, Like I said, you can't really pinpoint what he is because he's so mysterious, Like Mr. Edwards, Like he's just, I'm going to bring out the real you. And just so intense and so, like, his eyes tell a lot of stories.
That guy's eyes are on fire.
Yeah.
Well, it's a little bit like Hannibal Lecter.
It is.
You've seen the original Silence of the Lambs. Like, he's terrifying because he's so brilliant and so focused on you. And he's like Hannibal Lecter's intellect and eyes on a monster MMA badass's body.
Right. On Bolo Young's body.
Yes.
he reminds me of all that. Like, because you could tell he's into that stuff too. Like, some of the badass horror movies and the martial arts and all that. And it's just like all wrapped up into one. Man, I'm so fucking surprised that he hasn't been Impact World Champion yet.
Yes.
Like the guy, man, he's the next big thing.
And he's going up against Tom Lawler, who's a legit. Tom Lawler also has the aura because I've seen Tom Lawler in a cage choke dudes out.
Yeah.
Like there is no like, oh, he's playing wrestler. Like, no, this dude for money in a cage chokes other dudes out.
Well, I know, and Cross has participated in the Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, right? Against Josh Barnett. It like kind of like almost like shoot wrestling style. I guess you would
This
call it.
could steal the show. At Warrior
Well,
5, Lawler and Ridgeway, a lot
yes.
of people felt stole the show.
I thought it was the best match of the night.
This could and look at this freaking card.
Mhm.
Dragon Lee, Lucha Brothers, Tessa Blanchard, Elgin and Cage, the triple threat of the Luchas. And
You're gonna need some doctors, man. People are gonna
Lawler
be having heart
Cross.
attacks.
Yeah.
Fainting like it's Michael Jackson or something.
I mean, this could be the match where one guy breaks another guy's sternum or ribs with a
Yeah.
kick.
Yeah, for sure.
Right now we need an EMT on the premises.
Guy, or what is it? Affleck.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gilbert Godfrey. We saw him here Saturday. He was at
Really?
Yeah. He was actually really, really good.
I've heard he's excellent.
And he was super raunchy, man.
Yeah.
To get off subject a little bit here, but I had a great time at that. So yeah.
I love to hear Gilbert Gottfried announcing wrestling.
Oh, that'd be so awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe you can make that happen.
I'll see what I can do. Yeah.
That'd be great. Coming down the aisle. I don't know. That's the best Gilbert I could do.
That's better than mine.
Oh, and Ray.
Wallace and I did a thing last week that will never see the light of day where we tried to do different impressions while being announcers for.
Yeah. Okay.
That
So
sounds
matches.
we came in here on a Thursday night and had some drinks, right? We sat down and DVDs are still sitting right over there.
Mhm.
And we did random matches. I think we started off with a Sabu RVD match or something like that, and we tried to do commentary, but it was like a game. So it was like, all right, go. Now you got to do commentary like so-and-so, or you got to do it, like this actor or that guy.
Sure.
It was so terrible.
It was pretty brutal.
I bet it was fun.
It was really
It
fun.
was fun.
Yeah.
It was also not that we never didn't appreciate what announcers are able to do, but
Oh my gosh, it's so tough.
It is really tough.
it was really
Commentary
tough for
guys.
us.
Well, Nick's your commentary guy, right?
Yeah, Nick Hausman's our color guy, and
Yeah.
Rich Bocchini is our play-by-play.
Yeah.
They actually gelled really well, really quickly.
Mhm.
And obviously, I'm biased. It's our show, but I watch them all back like a week after it happens because I don't see most of it when the show actually is going on.
Right.
And watching it back, they do a really good job. Hausman is very insightful about all of the knowledge, and
Mhm.
Bocchini is just great at calling moves and telling stories and
Right.
conveying what's happening.
Yeah, I like Bocchini in MLW. And
Yeah.
actually, I had a chance to sit with Nick at the last MLW TV tapings and hang out with him for a
Nice.
little bit. Yeah.
Good dude.
So shout out to him. I was going to try to get him on the phone tonight, but I didn't know if it was going to be too much trouble trying to do this. So
Yeah.
next time.
Fair enough. He's a
Yes.
good dude.
He is really nice. And he runs what? Wrestling Inc.?
He doesn't run it, but he's one of their lead reporters.
Yeah,
A
okay.
guy named Raj Giri runs it.
Okay.
But no, Nick is just he's great and he's funny and he's quick witted and
yeah, he's good people for
he's
sure.
good, very good people and good at his job at reporting wrestling.
Yes. So Sreten,
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Is this the game? Do I need to stretch?
I stole my aunt's glasses this morning.
Ooh.
and,
play the game.
so we're bringing. Speaking of time to play the game, this game is all about catchpresses.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
Like all the prior games
Catchphrase
before,
if you can.
it's 10 questions.
Okay.
I'm the boss. Apologies to everyone.
Dixie's
But
Tony
the
Danza.
transition. Imagine I have a baseball
What I do
cap.
is
Oh.
I just try to take
Imagine
my
I'm
hat
turning
and
it
turn
around right now.
Oh, he's turning heel.
Switch.
Turn it back around.
You know, like over the top.
Yeah.
No, I
Like
get
Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
shoot, I didn't pick up that.
All right. So this is all catchphrases. I'll explain everything. I might yell into the thing. So I have to say all of the catchphrases first before you ring your buzzer. And the way you ring your buzzer is you just say your name.
This
Got it.
kills me every time.
So,
Say
all right.
my name.
All right. Wrestler
Juice.
number one. Oh, I forgot. Was here.
You're going to give us the wrestler and we give you the catchphrase?
No, you have
See,
to
he
identify A, B, C, or D. Which one is the catchphrase? And if
Got
you'd
it.
like to repeat it, that's up to you because it's fun to repeat.
Do you have a sample question so we could test this out? Because I think you're gonna give us a mind freak.
Oh, man.
No.
All right.
So we're
You'll,
just going
you'll adjust
raw.
fast.
I know. What do we win?
Gold.
Yeah.
My respect.
I don't want that.
That's price.
I want that damn
My continued
bobblehead.
respect. There are no prizes here. Aren't there? Isn't there a bunch?
Then
of
why did I
above
give away
me?
my Jake the Snake pop?
Well, pick a pop from up there.
All right.
All right, ready?
Razor Ramon.
All right, first wrestler.
right.
Ready? It's Hulk Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
Of these four, which one is Hulk Hogan's catchphrase?
Do you have to finish reading them before we can buzz in?
Yes. Because A lot of these are super obvious. And ready?
Yes.
So, if you can remember, when I'm done reading A, B, C, and D, the last thing I'm going to say is bro. When I say bro, you'll know the first one's done.
Okay.
Ready? Is it? I can't put on a good tan when I use SPF 50, Jack. Is it? I know, you're the one who farted, Mean Gene. Feels better in my head. Ready? Is it C? I'm going to wrap my 26-inch pythons around the giant, work against the full gravitational pull of Earth, pick up Andre off the ground, and give him a big kiss, bro. Oh, I screwed it up. Ready? Or is it D? What you gonna do, brother, when Hulkamania runs wild on you?
Juice.
Which one is it?
D.
That's correct.
I'm waiting for a bro.
Oh, yeah.
See, I like. We'll figure
How
it out.
about, how about you just...
Also, this game is pretty
D.
fixed.
Yeah, fair
so-
enough. I know.
Oh, yeah, he always screws me on this shit.
Yeah, we'll get there. All right,
Hurts.
second wrestler. Maybe I'll just fly through these, and then, or you know what? If you hear the one, if you know which one it is, just go ahead and say it. Just go ahead and say it. We won't wait, and I'll read off the other ones if it's not.
Okay.
Order.
All
All
Ready?
right.
All right. The second guy, The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Ready? First one. Is it A? Will you pull my finger?
Yes. No, I don't mean yes.
Is it B?
No.
What do you think? I'd really like to know because I'm a good listener and a good friend, Jabroni. All right.
I like
or
it.
is it number C? For all you 80s
said number
kids.
C.
No, yeah, number C. Ready? Is it Cobra? La 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 la.
Cobra. Cobra.
You remember that from the 80s?
The G.I. Joe movie.
Yeah.
I have it on
G.I. Joe.
VHS still.
Who died in that one? Did they kill anybody? Duke?
I think Duke did.
Or is it? Or is it?
Duke.
Or is it D? If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
Steve. D.
That's correct. All right, this one will go quick. Ready? Diamond Dallas Page. Is it A, B, C, or D? I'm just going to say them because they're one word. Ready? Is it Gang? Wang! Boomerang! Bang!
Juice.
Go ahead.
Bang.
I really wish it was all of those in a row. Dang, wang.
It probably was when it was with Kimberly.
I know.
Hello.
Boomerang
Page one is out
bang.
the door.
Yeah.
I am
40-year-old virgin. Check it out.
so sweaty right now. Ready? All right.
What phrase is that?
All right, for the second half of this. All right, for the second half of this, you get bonus points if you recognize the quote, because some of these are from a movie. Ready? Number 4.
Yes.
You have to actually. We're putting a twist on it. I'm going to say the quote,
It's a twist.
and you have to name the 2 wrestlers currently in wrestling that use this quote. Ready? There's 3 different variations.
You stupid idiots! Shut up! Shut up, you stupid idiots! Juice.
Go ahead.
Chris Jericho.
That's one. There's another guy that does the same. Uses the same.
MJF.
Damn.
4-1.
4-1. That was number 4.
Yeah, what the fuck?
What?
It's fixed.
All right.
You got
all right.
2 points for
You need
number
to
4.
fix it.
All right,
2 points for number 4.
I'm all right. Okay,
Ready?
I'm gonna win the
All
10
right.
point question.
Okay, remember, if you know if it's from some other thing, you can get a bonus point. Ready?
Okay.
All right, Scott Hall. Ready? Is it A, I'm gonna wreck it?
I think it is.
But he did that many times. I don't think he ever said that.
Is it B, I farted?
He has said that many times, I'm sure.
Is it C, hey yo? Or is it D, Coles is having a sale?
Steve.
Yes, Steve?
We're going with Hey Yo.
That's correct. Would you like a bonus point?
I would love one.
You know what movie Scott Hall says, I'm going to wreck it?
Is that Suburban Commando?
It's not Scott Hall. It's John C. Reilly
Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, I thought it was Scott Hall.
No, you're thinking.
We like
Scott
to be
Hall-
confusing.
Undertaker was in Suburban Command. It's like, is there a dead man, Ramsey?
Well, is Scott Hall?
I
in there
said
too?
Scott
Is he
Hall
the
and
other
confused it.
space monster with Undertaker.
No.
It was some other dude, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I
who-
can't remember who the
okay,
other
I know
guy
who it
was.
was. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, call in the Juice Pro Wrestling Hotline. Let us know. 1-872-267-4199. Go ahead.
That's a lot of numbers.
All right, number 6, Ric Flair. This one might be a little confusing,
Whoa.
just like the other one. Ready? Is his one quote. Ready?
I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
That's
Okay.
funny.
Well, all right.
Ooh.
All right. Is it?
To be the man, you gotta beat the man.
You can call it out if you know what it is.
Steve, be
Go ahead,
the
Steve.
man.
All right.
And was the original Fast and Furious?
That is correct.
What the fuck?
5-4. Catching up.
Am I losing?
All right. Well, if you can guess the next two, who said the next two, then you can get bonus points. We're still in Ric Flair territory, so I'm still gonna do this horrible Ric Flair impression. Ready?
I'll look for you. I will find you, and I will kill you.
Anybody?
That is from Taken. And for my bonus point,
Damn it.
Liam Neeson's.
I have a very specific
All right, ready?
set of skills.
Ready?
Skills.
This is
My skill set is on par with no other.
here's the last quote. Ready?
Make sure you get your tickets to Warrior Wrestling 6, taking place on Sunday, September 1st. Go to warriorwrestling.net. Tickets are going fast. Juice.
Go ahead.
Juice.
Oh.
It's not only juice. Would you like to get a second point?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Steve.
Oh shit. Go ahead.
Steve.
All right. Well, hey, you guys are tied 6-6.
Yes.
On the 6th sense.
I was so nervous I was going to say the wrong thing, even though there's
Me
really
too.
only 2 facts in there. All right, ready? $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Ready?
Yeah.
And again, bonuses if you know what it's from. Ready?
Okay.
Is it A? You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Steve.
Oh.
A Christmas Story.
That's true. Is it B? Everyone has a price. Everyone.
That's not done.
Yeah.
What else is? What else?
Everyone's got to pay.
Damn
Because
it.
the $1 Million Man always gets his way.
So somebody needs to buzz in.
Money.
Juice.
Damn it.
Go ahead. Who is it? Is that the
$1
one?
Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Did I just get a point?
You got a point. You guys are tied 7-7. All right. We got 2 more quotes on this one.
Tickle
Ready?
my fancy.
What is it you want, Mary? The moon?
Oh. Juice.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Now, something about Mary.
No, man. It's what's that? It's a Christmas story.
Oh, is it?
What's Christmas? It's a Wonderful Life. It's
Oh, God. You got
What
to
is-
do your Jimmy Stewart voice.
sorry. What is it you want, Mary?
Oh.
There you go.
The moon? All right.
All right.
That was pretty good.
No points. All right. D, the last one, and I'll turn the page. Ready?
Turn
Ready?
the page.
The price is wrong, bitch.
Steve.
Oh.
Steve. Happy Gilmore.
And Steve takes the lead. Oh my god. All right. All right. Oh, for this one,
Yes.
if you start yelling stuff, you lose a point because you're not going to be able to help yourself.
That works against me.
You're not going to be able to help yourself. But if you answer them right, this is where we get crazy, and this is where I have to learn my math and magics here.
Steiner
7
math
to 8.
comes into play here.
Steiner math.
You have one.
Each one of these is worth
43
3
and
points.
third. Okay.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
The wrestler is. And this is number 8. Big Pop. Scott Steiner. Big Papa Pump.
Wow.
Ready?
Okay.
Let me tell you, fatzos, about the tooth fairy. You put a tooth under your pillow, and in the morning, you find $1 under your fat asses.
Somebody might think that's funny. You guys did not.
Steve, is that
From nothing.
no?
Nope.
It's very similar to
2?
Christopher Walken in The Rundown.
Oh, shit, it is.
He has the whole thing. The Tooth Fairy. They took my tooth.
That was good.
I'll give you a 1.5 for that.
Can I let her fly yet?
What? Can you what?
Can I let it fly yet?
Yeah, in a second.
All
All right. Is it C? Oh man, I lost all my energy. Ready? Is it
Was that C?
Why don't you read these? No.
Get this guy
All right, ready? Is it? Well, wait, that was A. Is it B?
You shall not pass.
Oh, I know what that is. Juice.
Go ahead.
That's Monty Python.
No.
No, what?
Steve. What? The Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. Me and my brother, we come in here. And you got 99% chance. My freaks, holler if you hear me. Badass.
Negative 2 points for Justin. Wait, negative 4 points for Justin.
There's 2 yells.
That's 2 yells.
I couldn't help it.
It's 3 to 10.5. All right. Is it C?
I'm like Rocky. I got
Big Papa Pump is your hookup. Holler if you hear me.
There's a big difference.
C.
Go ahead, Steve. Yeah.
Fucking Billy the Kid over here with the quick to draw.
All right. And then
Quick draw, McGraw.
or is it D? I'm just gonna let. Can you read my reading?
No.
I won't even read this. Let's just
Go ahead.
Do it.
Hey, badass, the pie rag is steering.
All right. Ladies and
Hey,
gentlemen.
badass, the Pythagorean theorem is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. If you don't get it, dummies, I mean, the length of the hypotenuse of a right triangle is equal to the square root of the sum of each other of the two sides squared. Google it, badasses.
I've never sweat this much.
The shred is real.
Oh yeah. I'm
Sreten is Sreten.
enter new player.
Ooh.
That one was worth 12 points.
Oh, shoot.
I just took the lead, guys.
Player 3 has entered the game.
All right. Ready?
He's hacking the game.
Number 9 is Bret the Hitman Hart, which you guys all know. Which I want to hear each one of you say because it is like one of the best like morning mantras. Ready?
Okay.
Is it A? Hey Sully, remember when I said I'd kill you last? I lied. Anyone? Anyone? We'll come back to it. You got it?
Steve.
Go ahead.
Is that Commando?
Yeah! Shit! God.
Score up
Hey,
now.
Bennett. Chill out.
Sully.
You should let off some steam.
Yeah, let off some Steve, Bennett.
All right.
I love that much.
Is it B? My booty be itchy. I don't know why. I took a shower. That is from something, and if you guess that, I will give you 100 points.
I know.
One of the best-
Juice.
What?
Don't be a mess. South Central. I'll drink your juice in the hood.
Nope. It's from a TV show.
Well,
One of the
shit.
best skit shows ever in history, which is it's still good when you watch it.
I know it.
What?
Juice.
What?
Saturday Night Live.
Steve.
Yeah.
In living color.
Nope.
All right, Juice.
Yeah.
The Ben Stiller Show.
Steve. Mad TV.
No. Newer.
All right. Juice.
Yeah.
Four weddings and a funeral.
It's from the Dave Chappelle Show.
Oh!
So it was a Kinko skit where that lady goes, my booty be itching. I don't know why. I took a shower.
Damn it!
One of my favorite lines.
I like
Ever
that.
written.
It's not as good as Paul Mooney stuff on there, but it's still good.
Paul Mooney's pretty good.
Paul
All right.
Mooney.
Is it C? I'm the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
Steve.
Go ahead.
C.
Good job.
I was waiting to see if it would twist at the end of that.
Like
Well,
M. Night Shyamalan
you know what?
twist.
You know what the D is?
Oh, I know what
This
the
is one
D
of
is.
his. This is one of his
Yeah,
quotes.
we both
Ready?
do.
This is. You said controversy sells.
Yeah.
The Montreal Screwjob was at work.
All right.
That's what I believe.
Really?
Do you really?
I do.
Do you also not believe we landed on the moon?
No, we definitely landed on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's just so good if it is. I have to believe it.
Yeah.
REM won't write a song about it, though.
Yeah. If you believe.
All right. So the
this
score
right
is
out of the title.
thank you guys for playing. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you humoring me.
Yeah.
I promise it'll sound much more fun in post. So the
man.
score is, I definitely did the math wrong. It is 14.5 to 3.
What the fuck? I got molested.
All right, ready? We're testing your general, as a whole knowledge. This is going to be the easiest one ever.
Quit me, hot shot.
Each one of these is going to be worth
33 and a third.
33 and a third points.
Damn. It's like Naked Gun.
Yeah.
Okay.
OJ's
Each one of these is going to be 33 and a third points.
What was OJ's name in that? What was his name? It's so simple. It's right there. Oh. I keep wanting to say Drummond, but that was Frank Drummond with Leslie Nielsen.
Okay, for this one, there's no wrong answer. Which of the following combination of words has been used by what wrestler? So I'm going to say 4 things. You guys rattle off what wrestlers have used that shit.
Okay.
Ready. Are you ready?
We're ready.
Ready.
Are you finding that out?
Yeah! Whoa! Ho!
Juice.
Go ahead.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
There's no bell. Just say stuff.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Got it. 1 point for Juice.
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair.
Daniel Bryan.
33.
Who? $1 Million Man.
Starts 33 and a half more. Fuck. That's 99 and two, nope. That's
Iron Sheik.
That's 90. Iron Sheik. That's correct.
What, really?
I don't know, man. No
Kurt
wrong
Angle.
answer.
Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle. That's right.
Sting.
Sting. That's right. 5, 4, 3.
Kirk Hammett.
2. That's right. 1. Any last ones?
Animal from the Muppets.
That's true.
No. O.J. Simpson was Nordberg.
Nordberg! Hey, man, this one's for Nordberg. Here's to you.
Hey, you know what's funny? You guys both only said 5 names.
Oh.
So I don't have to do any of the math. That shit cancels out. And the winner. And the loser once again. So Juice lost. Man.
What?
Told you, man, the commentating is difficult. And the winner.
I can't lose all the fucking time.
Hey, hold up.
Turn this off.
That's the gimmick.
It's off. It's off.
That's the gimmick.
What? It's off. It's probably because you get tongue-tied and you forget your name.
You know what?
Because you're an idiot.
There's some serious shit going on here.
This is really awkward in here.
All right, I turned it back.
All right.
My God.
So, I graciously accept defeat on the behalf of Steve Tortorello. He is the true champion. And I, once again, am the piece of shit.
That's how the cookie crumbles.
I feel like that giant pile of dinosaur shit in Jurassic Park.
That's one big pile of shit.
Thank you.
Oh, your lead gets even bigger with that last question because
Really?
you answered that Jurassic Park quote. Good job,
Thank
Steve.
you. You're welcome.
What? There was a Jurassic Park quote?
He just did it.
You just said it.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
one
From
time.
Jurassic Park.
Juice.
Turn the mic. on.
Life finds a way.
Just a minute.
He did it again.
Did it
Does he
again.
get more points for that?
Yeah.
I could do the whole movie.
There's a
if you have
couple and a
hour.
half, so it's 20-3. That's the final score.
Okay. Fair enough.
20-3. Just steamrolling. I'm sorry, Justin.
Dino DNA.
I got Ricky the Dragon steamrolled over here.
Very good.
Jesus.
I'll give you a couple points for that. I'll give you
That's good.
You know.
16 points for that. Final score 19-20. Good job. You
Wasn't
barely
very-
lost.
Man, you caught up.
You caught up fast.
You know.
Rally
barely
cap
lost.
was on.
I still lost.
If you hated that game, don't call in. If you loved it, call the voicemail line. Tell us what you thought.
Yeah, 1-872-267-4199. Let us know.
All right.
Did you have fun in that one, Steve?
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I love hanging out with you guys.
It's a good time.
So fucking sweaty.
Yeah.
Sweating, sweating.
Can we cue up a CNC Music Factory when you say, I'm so fucking sweaty?
Sweat!
Yeah. Sweat!
How did we get through all of those impressions and all of those catchphrases,
Mhm.
and we have yet to have an appearance this evening by Andre the Giant?
That's a good question. I wonder where he could be. You know, the French Alps is a mystifying place. Sometimes you get caught in the mist, like the gorillas did once upon a time. What the?
Hey, can you hear me?
I hear something.
Can you hear me? Hello? Yeah. So I'm up here in heaven, which is still miles and miles above you.
Oh,
But
Andre.
I am very drunk. I refuse to get off this cloud.
You can kiss my ass? I feel pretty good. You know what the treatment for arthritis is up here in heaven?
What's that?
Nothing. We don't have that shit.
Andre, you're just full of wisdom, and I feel so blessed to have your presence once again. Thank you.
You're welcome, baby.
All right, Andre.
Okay, bye-bye.
Later.
My fellas, I press out. We press out here.
Au revoir.
Au revoir, dickheads.
What?
You had me.
I did. Sorry about that.
You can hear him everywhere. His voice is booming.
I know, right? He's a... Oh, shit.
Sorry, I get away from this heaven mic. I'll start to have sex. Bye-bye.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only eighth wonder of the afterworld, Andre the Giant. Man, Sreten, let me ask you this.
I was picking up all that.
How
paper
come
off
whenever
the ground.
Andre shows up, man, you always fucking scatter
Dude,
like
this-
a roach?
I don't like the studio to be messy. There's paper on the floor. I
Yeah,
had to
all
pick it
right.
up.
All right.
Sorry, guys.
I think
Did
you're
miss 'em?
scared.
No, you just visit from the afterlife by the greatest attraction to ever enter a wrestling ring.
Yeah.
And I've been doing a crazy amount of, I don't know if it counts if you watch YouTube videos. Does that count as research?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
His wrestling knowledge, because he's old timers, like it was all about wrestling psychology and like long-term psychology for storytelling, where you'd be wrestling for like a couple years just to get over and blah, blah, blah. And everybody agrees that he just had this, like, he just knew what was up always.
Really?
For everything.
That's
cool.
why they call him boss, you know?
Yeah.
It was cool.
Not just because
And
he
then-
was a giant.
You know, we have our stuff with WWE that we talk about on the show, but the other guy that they talk about that really did, I mean, knock him if you want, don't knock him, whatever. It was Vince McMahon. Like,
Yeah.
he just, like,
Well, we all wouldn't be talking or probably doing this if it wasn't.
I
for
don't
him.
think it comes from a place.
He's the
of,
man
like,
that had the vision.
like,
Yeah.
we're not being dicks, but he's a fucking legend, man.
Yes.
Yeah,
So-
he is. Vince deserves all the props in the world, you know?
He had a vision for. Oh, excuse me.
Throwing
what? Just, I got emotional. Okay.
Catcher's mitt.
Oh, sorry.
Vince had this vision for what wrestling could be as a mainstream, family-focused entity, and he brought it to fruition. I mean, we're all fans because of Vince McMahon. We may like
No
other
doubt.
things better now, but we are all fans because of Vince McMahon.
Dude, he made WrestleMania.
I'll stand
1.
behind that.
That was like 40 years ago or whatever it was. Wasn't 40
Close.
years.
Approximately 36.
Give or take. None.
Well, I don't know. They tend not to label the numbers anymore.
Because
It's
now
just
it makes it
WrestleMania.
sound old.
Well, who cares if it's old? The
Vince
Super
hates
Bowl,
old
you know?
things.
He's
hates
old.
Yeah.
But his abs ain't old, man. The dude's still jacked.
God damn.
Yeah.
Juice to the gill.
God damn, pal.
Yeah.
Gotta spend 6 hours in the gym.
At midnight with Triple H and Steph.
Why not?
And my grandkids.
Why not?
I wonder if he pushes the juice on them.
Appa juice.
Yeah. Remember Ico Pro?
Ico Pro.
Yeah.
Sponsor of everything in 1993.
Yeah, in the WBF. Remember that?
What a failure.
Yeah. So, Sreten, you may not know this, but back in this
No.
was this was right maybe at the tail end of the Hogan era.
92-ish, 93-ish. Yeah.
So right before like maybe the start of the new generation era of WWF, Vince McMahon started a bodybuilding federation because we all know Vince loves them big boys, and it was the WBF, and it failed miserably. Much like the XFL did.
I believe Lex Luger was brought in originally to be a star of
Yep.
the WBF,
Yeah.
not a wrestler.
I believe that is correct.
Oh, dream.
Yeah, that's man. I was just thinking about that. I miss like those old the neon lights and shit. Like I think they still have that shit up in his gym. I saw a picture of either him or Triple H working out in his gym up in Connecticut,
Yeah.
and they still have like the old neon. It goes around like the trim of the wall, and it's like got like WBF in the background or something like that. And
Yeah.
I'm sure it's still an Ico Pro
Ico
shirt.
Pro.
Man, that was like their supplement, you know, their powder.
When they did, this was a couple of years ago, they did the Raw anniversary thing from the
Oh yeah.
Manhattan Center.
Yeah.
I think they put up an Ico Pro banner.
They
Like the old
did.
Ico Pro banners. Yeah.
They did. I could have swore I saw some T-shirts in the audience too.
Dude, that protein powder takes years to expire. Maybe they had a couple boxes in the back.
They may have, you know, creatine. What? You got shit on Ico Pro, man.
Right.
I still got some old WWF magazines from back in the day.
Yeah?
Maybe I'll do a thing, put on YouTube, where we take a journey into one of these magazines.
That would be a blast.
Yeah.
I used to buy them at the Jewels.
Yeah, dude.
Yes. My mom would be grocery shopping. I would wander over to the magazine aisle while she finished grocery shopping. I'd come back with like a WWF magazine with The Undertaker on the cover. And be like, can I get this? And sometimes I could, and it was amazing. Those were the good days.
Oh, man, I love it. I had the same experience, same exact story, right? Except it was at Stratton Van Til around here, and I still have the one it's Hogan on the front, and it was towards the end of his career. He's like standing there next to the American flag, like
thinking about it,
contemplating. And I loved in the back, they always had where you could order the shirts and stuff, and they had like the teddy bears with the Bret Hart teddy bears and the Hulk rules or the Macho Man, all that shit, dude. And they'd have like the dudes standing there wearing their shirts, like.
Yeah. Yes.
I love that stuff, man. Nostalgia's the best.
It is. It really
I
is.
don't really. I think in any other sport or form of entertainment, there's nothing like the nostalgia in professional wrestling.
No.
Because I think it means a hell of a lot more than in baseball or basketball or football.
Yes.
Like it. Holy shit, man. Those are good memories.
Well, because if you brought back Cal Ripken, he's no good anymore.
Right.
But if you brought back Hogan or Bret, you could create it so that they're still larger than life.
Yeah,
and
for
so
sure.
It's just different.
Even without them like stepping into the ring,
Yep.
Speaking of that, did you real quick here before we close, did you watch the Raw reunion? What were your thoughts on that if you did?
I did. I thought it was just kind of there.
Yeah, it was like
it wasn't bad, but I feel like they could have done a lot more with it than they did. So
the way I feel about it is I feel it's just like a like AEW and all this hype and shit going on, and they all of a sudden it's like Vince like, well, let's just book a show where we get all these guys and prove that we can still do numbers. And
what's incredible is so I watched it, and it's like, that's it. Like, that's the best you can, like, you have Austin, you have Hogan, you have Flair, and that's the best show you guys can muster up?
Yeah.
Like, AEW is going to murder you come October.
Yeah. I still don't think, did you see Cody's response to Vince's blood and guts?
I could not have been more excited for what Cody did.
Yeah.
Instead of just brushing it off, ignoring it, he took it and went, yes, we are.
Yeah.
I love every step Cody has made.
Me too. I agree, man. I'm so excited.
What did he do?
What's that?
What did he do?
So Vince McMahon had said on a investor call, and this is an old trick Vince has used in the past to try to scare advertisers off of his opponent's product. He said, well, that other thing on TNT, I don't even know how TNT can be self-respecting associated with a blood and guts promotion like them, which is because there was one bloody match with Dustin and Cody. And Cody...
on the chair shot. Yeah.
Cody cut a promo where he's like, an individual recently referred to us as blood and guts. And I believe that individual meant that as an insult. And we take that as a compliment. Because this industry was built on blood and guts, on the blood of this person, and guts and whatever. And he just spun it into this 2-minute video that I stopped. I was watching it on my phone. I stood up and clapped.
Nice.
It was just brilliant.
Dude, isn't he such a great speaker now?
He's fantastic.
Man, it's so weird. I have a lot of respect for him because sometimes, I have this problem in my head where it's just all the words and everything are there and they're going a million miles a minute, but then sometimes it comes out and like, blah, 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 blah. La 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 la. But it's weird because he was a guy that I think he had a bad lisp and stuff too. He had to overcome that, and like he's become a great speaker. He's got great verbiage, and he's just to the point, man. He is the best mouthpiece for AEW because he's a guy that's there and he's got that lineage, with the Rhodes clan. Man, dude, I'm so fucking pumped for TNT in October.
What's so cool about AEW is that I didn't think this 10 months ago, but they've done the new cutting edge stuff. But it's interesting. You've got Cody, you've got the Bucks, and you've got Kenny Omega.
Right.
And each of them are actually very different in what they think pro wrestling is and should be.
Yeah.
And AEW is all three of their visions. It is all these cutting edge athletes with Kenny. It is a focus on tag team wrestling with the Bucks, and with Cody, it is old school Jim Crockett promotions, NWA, characters and lineage and whatever. And so instead of just being brand new, they're brand new, but also acknowledging a past that Vince McMahon has ignored.
Exactly.
And it's like the two things together. You're like, oh, like you mentioned earlier, Tully Blanchard,
Yeah.
Jim Ross. Like all of a sudden, this thing feels new, but also classic at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's some weird thing they've been able to do where it feels cool and cutting edge, but it also feels like it's tying into these things that have always been there.
And that's it.
It's brilliant.
That's the one thing that we didn't know that's what we wanted, you know, going into this next boom of professional wrestling. Because we're at the point where we've had everything.
Yes.
Now give us cutting edge, but give us a little bit of that nostalgia and that classic too, because with WWE being that conglomerate that they've been for the past damn near 20 years, we've been deprived of that.
Yes.
You know, like even though WCW was as bad as it was at the end, you know, there was still that lineage, that history there that people respected and liked, you know, and loved. And it's been gone.
Yes.
And people have tried to come and duplicate and do whatever, and it hasn't really worked, or maybe with little success, you know. And AEW is just hitting every fucking vibe out there. And I know there's a lot of guys out there that want to hate. As much as there are AEW supporters, there's a lot of anti guys.
Sure.
It's like, and whether they're WWE fans or whatever, you know, I've gotten some flack for, you know, you're an AEW mark or whatever. It's like, okay, well, if you want to call me that, then great, I am, because this shit, I haven't felt anything like this since like ECW or the NWO, you know, like this is cutting edge. This is passion. This is get together with your fucking good friends and have a good time and party, and just, you might not have this again in however many years, you know? Like,
I was at Double or Nothing in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
It was unbelievable. I was standing on my seat during the end brawl with Moxley and Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
Just looking around, and I was like, and they came like, we were on the floor. We got very lucky with tickets. They came like 6 feet past our chairs. And it was just like, what is going, like, I'm in the wrestling videos I used to watch on YouTube of like the great moments in wrestling.
Yeah.
And I'm in it.
Yeah.
Like the Cody Dustin thing, there was like people talk about like, oh, people were crying. There was a woman in front of us who was sobbing after the Cody Dustin promo at the end.
Yeah.
And I looked around and I was just like, wrestling can do this.
Yes, it can.
They had this emotional match, beat the piss out of each other, bled all over the place, and then Cody gets on the mic and they hug, and grown ass people are crying.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh my God, WWE is so and so corporate and so whatever. And then you see this happen and you go, oh, wait a second. This can still be a thing.
Yeah. Like, wrestling has never really died out. It's just, it's who's been presenting it, and it's been under one idea for so long, you know? And now that we have backers, like, financially, that are willing to put out this product.
Yeah.
And, man, the right people behind it. Like you say, with the Bucks, Kenny Omega and Cody, all of their different visions that are gelling together. Holy shit, dude. Like I said, what is it, October 2nd?
October 2nd.
It's 2 days before my birthday, man, and it's going to be a happy birthday to me, because fuck, man, it's going to be a wild ride. I never would have imagined when I saw WCW go off the air on TNT all those years ago that, like, I was like, man, it's done, dude. Like, I thought, to me, that day, and then, you know, obviously when ECW went out too, like, it's like wrestling died, dude. Like, people are going to look at this now, and it's going to be, it had potential for a hot second, but I've touched on this many times, you know, the invasion, all that shit, it was a flop, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, they squandered that. But I honestly thought, like, after this huge thing in high school where everybody was just like, it was all this togetherness and, like, this thing you had to do. You had to have the video games, the magazines. You had to see them on Mad TV or on Jay Leno. You know, it was everywhere. And all of a sudden one day it was just like, poof. It was like, damn, wrestling's dead. And I still tried to watch it, but it wasn't the same, you know? And I was like one of the very few guys that I did stick it out. You know, I mean, a lot of those mid-2000 WWE years, I kind of straight back a little bit, but that's when I found, like, TNA, you know, or Ring of Honor.
Kurt
and
Angle and Samoa Joe and Ring of Honor with Daniel Bryan.
And that was great. But to have this on such a huge level now, man, I'm so excited.
Yeah, this is, and I've used this phrase before, and I didn't invent it, somebody else did. It's a wrestling renaissance.
Yeah.
Like, if you're looking at WWE and saying, like, oh, WWE sucks, it does right now.
Yeah.
But you can watch New Japan every week on Access or on your computer. You can watch Impact, which has been damn good for the last year. Yeah. They're not in a lot of, like, mainstream eyeballs, but they're damn good. You can watch AEW. You can watch what Ring of Honor is doing. You can watch Tessa and Women of Wrestling. Like, there's so much. Like, if you love wrestling, what are you complaining about? This is the time for
There's
everything.
literally too much to keep up with.
Yes.
Even all like the indie stuff, man.
Yes.
It's all great.
Yes.
I've never seen a time where the indie promotions have been as stacked.
Look at what we're doing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, man.
I did this presentation to my boss at the school before we put together Warrior 1. This was in winter of 17, 18, where I to convince him, I said, like, this thing, indie wrestling, is on this boom right now. And I showed him all these stats and different things and whatever. And it's the truth. I mean, while WWE is boring, wrestling is growing everywhere else.
Yeah.
And it's a great time to be a part of it.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of a day that I figured, I knew at some point it would come. I'd never wanted to pinpoint, put a time frame on it because it's kind of one of those things where you couldn't. But I knew that I was like, okay, there's one game in town right now.
Yeah.
They're going to put such a poo-poo product out for a long enough time. It's like with anything. You eat broccoli, you could fucking love broccoli. You eat it every day, you're going to get sick of it, you know? And that's what happened with WWE fans, you know? And I'm not saying that you're in the wrong if you do like them or you continue to support them still. I would love to, but they have nothing for me right now.
I'm not entertained.
Other than, like maybe NXT.
People think that people who are big about AEW, like, oh, you hate WWE. No, I love it. I wish it was better.
Yeah.
I wish it was better. And the reality is, like you just said, Vince or anybody is going to keep doing what they do as long as there's nothing that disrupts their motion.
Exactly.
There's been no reason. So they have these very scripted promos, these very hardcore structured formatted shows, these boring, lame things. There's been nothing. There's been no inertia to disrupt his motion.
Right.
And all of a sudden something is there. So here's the thing. Like if you're a WWE fan over the next year, they're going to get really good because they're going to have to. Because I believe, and people are talking about, when AEW debuts on TNT, they might do 300,000, 400,000. They're going to do a couple million.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I think and maybe this is crazy. Maybe we'll all look back and laugh at this. I think they beat Raw that week. I think on October 2nd, they beat Raw. And I think it scares the bejesus out of Vince and everybody else. And now we're off to the races.
Well,
now we've got two legitimate companies.
10,000 seats or something like that, and they said some more is going to free up or something like that.
And they're going to do it the week after and the week after. No, it'll cool off at some point. But what they are going to beat Raw on that first week of October, I put money on it. And that's going to scare the bejesus out of Vince. And then all of a sudden, we're going to have two products doing the absolute best they can every week.
That's great.
We all win.
That's great. Yeah,
we all win.
Yeah. It's going to be so awesome.
Yeah.
History repeats.
Yeah.
Juice is about to jump out the window.
Yeah.
I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. I know, I'll hold you in a headlock. Woo!
Yeah. Steve, I'd like to thank you for coming on the show, man.
I love you guys.
Yeah. Where can people find you at, man?
WarriorWrestling.net is the website. At Twitter, it's at Warrior Wrestling, no vowels in the second word, WRSTLNG. Same thing at Instagram and on Facebook as well at Warrior Wrestling. Go to WarriorWrestling.net, buy your tickets. The show is Sunday, September 1st. As we talked about earlier, it is a stacked lineup. I dare say I would put that lineup against any truly independent lineup you've ever seen as far as dream matches and different people and different types of wrestling. It's going to be pretty darn incredible. So,
agreed.
If you're listening and you're anywhere near the Chicago area, and if not, get here Sunday, September 1st.
And let's bring this up, too, because I don't know what's been set in stone, but Wrestling Travel, have you guys?
Yes, they're doing a bus from the Starrcast Hotel in Schaumburg, the Starrcast Hotel. They're doing a bus from there down to the show.
Nice.
And so if you're coming in from out of town, but you don't have car transportation, you can bus it with Wrestling Travel.
Sweet.
Stay tuned to them in the next couple of days for info.
Yeah. And while you're tuning into things, tune in to Juice Pro Wrestling every week on any podcasting platform and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Juice Pro Wrestling. We're on Twitter at JPDub Podcast and YouTube, jpdub.com. And if you want, Sreten always likes to promote this. Call the voicemail. This is Tom Lounges at 1-872-267-4199, and we'll play your favorite hits. Yeah, until next time, this is the Juice for Sreten the Savage and Steve Tortorello. We'd like to tell you, attend Warrior Wrestling on 9/1. Wet 'em up! 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 Wet 'em up!
You gonna do sex to me?